Hi, I'm the College Money Mom. Let's pretend you are a 25-year-old who needs to get a 4-year business administration degree to get hired at a certain company. Right now you're working in retail and don't have a career path there. You are really interested in a couple of large for-profit online schools, but you've been hearing some negative press on them lately. So how can you investigate these online schools to compare them with each other and with online choices in the traditional college world? Well, there are no easy answers. You'll just have to become a detective. First, watch my previous video in this series where I explain why the business models of for-profit colleges are frequently at odds with your best interests. For-profit colleges naturally have their stockholders' interests as their top priority. But that's not to paint all for-profit colleges as having bad motives. It's just that you'll have to be extra careful and do your homework. First, start with this website, College Navigator from the U.S. Department of Education. I've entered a very famous online college in its search engine. Look at all the information categories you can open up. This is data that all colleges, no matter what type, are now required to provide. You'll want to check out the tuition, fees, and estimated expenses section. Here you can find out that their estimate of your off-campus room, board, and miscellaneous costs would only work in some alternate universe. And this pretense is just to make the amount you'll need to borrow look less scary. Next, open up the financial aid category, where you will find that nearly every student is getting federal Pell Grants and federal student loans, which means that nearly everyone is low income. And with the misinformation you just saw about costs, you can figure that most students have found out that they'll also need a whole lot of expensive private student loans just to make ends meet. Since you may be in a lower income bracket yourself right now, you'll want to steer clear of this student loan nightmare. Next, move on down to the retention and graduation rate category. Sad and sadder! Only 35% of first-time students return to this school the following year, and only 20% of students manage to even graduate. Next, open the accreditation category. The value of the accrediting agency deserves some real serious detective work. A valuable accreditation is important to your future employer, and it also affects the transferability of your credits if you need to change schools. Checking with an organization called chia.org is a good first step, but there is no substitute for asking your, hopefully, future employer what they are looking for. Plus, you need to check with other traditional schools you may want to attend to see what credits they will take from a school like this one. And while you are here, you might as well check out the cohort default rate. It shows how many of this school's former students are currently in loan default. Or does it? Up until recently, the feds threatened to close down a school if more than 30% of its former students were in default. Many for-profit schools had terribly high loan default rates, like this one does. To stay out of trouble, some for-profit schools started manipulating the rates downward. This school's 2011 rate is significantly lower than the previous year's, which could point to some serious monkey business. With these monkeys in mind, if you see a big drop in the loan default rate at the school you're considering, and the rate is over the current national average of 13%, you might want to think about just saying no. Now, after all this, you'll still need to do one more really important homework assignment. Find real students and actually talk to them about their experiences and what kind of jobs they got or didn't get after attending any school you may be considering. If you have questions, please email me at thecollegemoneymom@gmail.com. Be sure to like me on Facebook and subscribe to me right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.